Okay, this might be a short stream. Puppy is napping, but won't be forever, so... Anyway, we'll see if we can make a little progress on our shaman. Just moving some windows around. Alright. We're back in Dust Wallow Marsh. We've got a couple of quests here, but not much. Just two, I think. That one's lead, so we won't try and do that. We still don't have our level 40 mounts, and probably won't for a bit. But 75 gold, so 3/4 of the way there. If I get it by level 50, which I think I should, I'll be fine. And then at level 60, it'll probably take me a very, very long time to get my epic mount, but whatever. Just keep using my level 40 mount and people will know that I'm a filthy casual. Oh, we still got a few things we can do in Fralis. But they're a bit higher level than I am right now. So we're taking a short break from Paralis. Khadgar's Whisker. I don't think I need any more of this, but grab it anyway. My alchemy, of course, has lagged behind my herbalism. And it might give me a skill point, so we'll see. Nope, not this time. Not capped, so I can go all the way to 300 now. Oozes are the worst mobs in this game. In terms of loot. They'll drop like a decomposed boot, which sells for 2 copper, and that's about it. Although I do think they changed that at some point, but I don't know if it's changed in Classic. Crocodile. The mobs are pretty thick in this zone. Fade leaf. It's gray. I don't know, do I have a recipe that would use that? Not really. Hey, Foreman. Thank you. You too. I'll grab it anyway. There are a lot of recipes I don't have. Maybe one of them would use Fade Leaf. Alright, so I need these. They might have some fire resist, so maybe I should be using Cross Shock. Let's see. I'd rather stay on the fringes rather than going into the middle of the camp. Oh, I have to go after the scouts. The scouts, ashtails, and scalebanes. And a nice wind fury proc there. There's the fire shield. This looks like a caster to me. So a little bit harder to pull. And that was a quick respawn. Use our storm strike. Yeah, I still don't know if going enhancement was the right way to level. If most of my damage is going to come from spells, I might as well just be elemental. But I don't know, without trying it, or I guess doing a lot of research, I can't be sure. She's not really a caster, so I probably could have pulled her up that hill. Except for that blast move, which is fine. Ow. So painful unless you get a wind fury proc. Like that. Of course you want a slow heavy weapon to make your wind fury count, but that also makes it more painful if you don't get a proc, if you miss or get parried. That's trouble. Considering I have no mana left. Alright, we're just gonna reset. It's the wimpy thing to do, but he really doesn't want to give up. Alright, there we go. with little to no mana, that probably wasn't going to go well for me. Alright, this way please. Because I assume when these things are just allowed to free cast, they can do some decent damage. And I can't interrupt and put down grounding totems for everything. Probably should have level 1 Earthshock on my bar somewhere. Just for the interrupt. We'll put it there for emergencies. Sometimes you don't need the damage so much as you need the interrupt, particularly if you're low on mana. Dodge, parry, miss. Alright, there we go. Damage the fire shield does. Maybe it's not worth the mana it takes to purge it. We'll give it a try. I also don't know if that's like, I can't remember if that's an AoE or it does damage when I hit the mob. Last wave hits pretty hard though. Is he by himself? I think so. Yeah, you gotta farm a lot of these. 15 hearts, 15 tongues. Thanks for nothing. Ooh, pack of 2 roamers. That would 100% be me running for a reset. Not even a reset, because I just wouldn't go back to them ever. Improved quality. Yeah, so this quest says it's it's organized under Feralis, but actually you go to Hinterlands. I guess it begins and ends in Feralis. But I hate quests like that. Travel halfway across the world and then come back to me. I think the idea was it was a way of nudging you into new zones, but I think they could have gone about it in a better way. And sometimes they do. Sometimes they just say, hey, deliver this to such and such in such and such village. And you go there and realize there are, 8 quests you can do. I'm not going to back up into anything else. Should be fine. Of course. Alright, so I've got this here. These are all the same quest. It's a very difficult quest. You save a robotic chicken or something. And no, I'm not making that up. It really is a robotic chicken. Okay, so we can't really go back to Feralis at this point. We're not quite ready. Well, maybe we are. We could do a few things in Teneris. Oh, someone else is here. Warlock. Oh, a portal warlock. Thought it was undead. Must be a female orc warlock. Yep. It's not a super popular comp. There's that roaming pack. Roaming pair, rather. Pretty sure the warlock could handle them easily. Not sure what path this will take. I think it'll come right through here. Oh, kind of. So it is an AoE effect, not an on-hit effect. How much damage did it do? 57, and my health is okay. That's not a lot. That was almost a huge mistake. Yeah. I would have been cooked. Even just 2 of the Ash Tails could probably take me out. Because that blast wave is no joke. Oh, where are the scale wings? I don't have any of those yet. It might be in another area entirely. Yeah, they are. Okay, we gotta branch out a little bit. They're kind of not rare exactly, but definitely less common. Which I guess is why you only need 5 of them. Grab this while we're here. Yeah, I gotta watch out. There, I think at least 3 of those patrols that I've spotted so far. Worked tongue. This way, please. And that's why you keep level 1 Earth Shock on your bars. Oh, that's not it. But preferably somewhere where you won't hit the wrong button. It really makes sense to have that be my shift 2. I'll have to move Wind Fury, which you only have to cast every 5 minutes anyway, so I could really put it anywhere. Okay, there's a Scale Bane. And there's another one. My guess is, even though these are level 43, that they hit a little hard. Alright, I want some room, so I'm gonna just clear this guy out. nothing to dispel. It's an interesting path he took. Oh, someone's upset. You killed my mana spring totem. I think that patrol is gonna come over here, but something to keep an eye on. Dazed. Keep your head on a swivel. I don't like that. That's okay. Thought I might need to restomp my totems, but I think we're alright. Thank you. Alright, 3 more scale panes. Oh, these are not the ash tails, so they don't give me anything. Although they, to me, they look exactly the same. Maybe there's a subtle difference I'm not noticing. Oh, here we go. I don't want to join Classic Chads. I'm sorry. The thing with joining like Zerg guilds is you don't log on pretty much every day. They're just going to kick you so that they can invite more people. They're like, oh, he's been inactive for 2 days. Kick him so we can invite some other random 45. See what level he is. Level 1. Okay. Maybe it's not a Zerg guild. Maybe it's just a bank guild. Very. think it's worth putting Purge on that fire shield. But if I had just cast a spell, maybe I would. But if you're resetting your 5-second timer for mana regen, I would say it's definitely no. But we don't exactly have to theory draft. Level level 45. It's not that serious. I think we're good here. A tongue and a heart. I need one more skill vein. Alright, we'll grab this and hope for a skill point. There it is. Eddie's crocodile. Alright, 264. Nice. Alright, there's our last skill vein. Miss. Alright, scouts, more Ashtails, and more of the little whelps. Left side, many whelps. Handle it. It's so nice of the crocodiles and the dragons to peacefully coexist here in the swamp. Did I do that? I don't think so. Flame collar. Oops, too close. Oh no, this is bad. Please don't daze, please don't daze. Alright. That was his parting shot. We live. Yeah, that's how quickly things could go wrong on a hardcore server. there had been a very inconvenient days right there, that could have been me. I mean, a more skilled player probably would have been fine. I'm sure they would have had a whole bag of tricks to escape, but other than me hitting like a health bot, I don't know really what I would have done. I mean, and you can heal yourself a couple times, but you're gonna get pushbacks and interrupts, and I think it might like reset their aggro table. I mean, keep them aggroed on you if you heal yourself. Not 100% sure about that, but it definitely generates threat. I don't know if it extends the duration of threat. So yeah, I mean, I do believe I could have hit level 60 on a hardcore server, but it would be the most boring thing of all time, because I would just play it so safe that I wouldn't die. But, you know, farming mobs all the way from 1 to 60 would be an excruciating experience. Well, you wouldn't have to do it from 1 to 60. You could probably do it from like 12 to 60. Or play a class with a good escape. Like a rogue. On a warrior, I would probably be cooked. Even if I played it safe. Because I did level... I mean, I have a warrior and Missapender classic right now. That started with the classic server. Vanilla WoW. I died so many times on that character. Just if you don't have any gear, leveling a warrior in vanilla is kind of tough. Even sometimes just taking on 2 mobs was a challenge. Whereas on my priest, you know, like 2, 3, not really a problem. Yeah, I don't know if I mean, I'm sure I did die on my priest at least a couple times, but I don't remember dying on him. As long as you have mana as a Shadow Priest, you've got a lot of options. Oh, I meant to put my ancient tablet on the charger. 1 second. Need 8 more scouts. My memory is not so good. I think there's something in this camp I'm supposed to grab at some point. Don't remember what it is. Yeah. That's just the way it goes sometimes. You farm something for an hour and then get another quest to grab something from the same area, so you gotta farm those. Ow. Nice Wind Fury proc. Another one. If I had full mana, I might be okay with that pack. Since one of them is a level 42 and the other's a 43. But I don't see any reason to risk it. Big crit. It's our level 1 lightning bolt. Definitely don't have the max rank, but I mean, oh, okay, I'm up to level 6. That's better than I expected, actually. I kind of thought I had stuff behind that upgrade at level 2. Just trying to save money. If I bought all the spells I haven't upgraded, I would, I think at the very least, be back to 50 gold right now. Although I'm not lying when I say back when I played Classic, and it wasn't even Classic, it was just the game many years ago, you would be like on a molten core run and some of your guildies wouldn't have like the higher rank resurrection spell, so they'd res you and you'd have, you know, 5 health, 5 mana, or whatever the lowest possible amount is. I think one of our warriors didn't have like, I forget. I think it was something you actually used though as a warrior, some tanking ability. I don't think it was Thunderclap, but maybe something like that. Not like the most essential thing like Sunder Armor, but something that's actually a little bit important. Of course, his argument was, well, you know, rank 5 isn't much better than rank. And he had a point, but what you're doing, you know, if you're wiping on anything, you really need people to have their highest rank spells. Because you never know. In accumulation, if everyone is not getting their highest rank spells, it might add up to the difference between killing the boss and not killing the boss. Because sometimes those margins are really thin. Like, do you want to get Ragnaros to 0.1% health and then wipe? Because people didn't upgrade their spells. That being said, it will probably be a while before I get all of my max rank spells. Yeah, I still have Magma Totem at rank 1. This I actually use, so I think those are upgraded. Lightning Bolt I just use for pulling. Alright, still need 2 more. Still need 6. Wow. Very. Dodge. Exciting stuff. Wanted to get one more mop down before I drink. Ooh, okay. 7 more hearts. Probably. Maybe when I finish the scouts and the ash tails, maybe I should go over here. Thank you. 3 more scouts, 1 more ashtail. That didn't move his health bar at all. I know I should use Storm Strike more than I do, but it just uses so much mana. It's like go through 2 mobs using Storm Strike and you've spent your mana pool. At least if you're rocking the kind of terrible gear that I am. Oh, did he kill that Roman pack? No, those are 2 scouts. The well. Alright. Oops. Wrong button. We've almost got all the tongues we need. Now we just need more hearts. I'm just gonna ignore this guy. He's a little too persistent. Just a touch. The ambiance in this zone is pretty nice. Not nice enough for me to turn the volume up, but basically sounds like where I grew up. Ember Wand of the Whale. Is that intellect and spirit? No, spirit and stamina. Nobody's gonna buy that. At least I don't think they will. I'll check the auction house if I still have it in my inventory next time I'm in Orgrimmar. Swing! Jesus. Must have reset my timer, my swing timer. There's an ashtail. Need this guy. Nice Nice Wind Fury. One more Ashtail. And suddenly we're almost done. Until we go back to camp and he tells us to come back here. Do need more whelps though. We'll go over here. Well, there's no guarantee that there aren't other mobs over here, but it's worth a try. In fact, I'm pretty sure there are. Okay, that takes care of that. Still need 5 hearts though. And 1 scalp. Let's see if he paths the same way again, like up this tree. Yep. It's the kind of thing that happens when you get feared by a warlock. Sends you on a path you had no idea was possible. And if you're lucky, you won't fall through the ground. Alright, they've got a pretty wide range. Just, yeah, try and find a place where there aren't a lot of other mobs that patrol. Trying to conduct business here. Resist. I mean, I like the kind of tornado effect with Wind Fury, but don't see him swing it 3 times. Not what I needed. The quest that sends you over to this dock is just say it's a little bit of a trap. There's either an elite or just a super high level shark in those waters. So if you're ever on a hardcore server, I advise you to not do that quest. Even on a regular server, I don't know if it's worth it. Because if that shark kills you, I think I had to do a graveyard run from like all the way over here. There's at least 5 minutes to respawn or to resurrect. Kind of going in the wrong direction. I know this is where I just came from, but it's also the fastest way back to where I think there are more of these. The dragon merc. Nope. Thank you. 2 more. So, kind of in the right area. Well, hello. Totally freaked me out for a second. Miss. It's probably not a good idea to drop a Syrian totem in this area, given their tendency to just pull mobs in your direction, whether you want them to or not. getting close. This one doesn't want to cast anything. Saving my air shock for nothing. Inventory is full. I don't think forked tongues sell for anything. Bailey probably doesn't either. That was a mistake. Depth perception. I'm too tired to try and juggle those. We're just gonna look for something easier. Oh, the puppy is stirring. According to the puppy cam. Let's see if she settles back down. She's had a pretty good nap. Okay. She did go back to sleep. Well, she lied down again, and I know she's gonna go back to sleep. Wicked Claw. No room for you. But yeah, once I finish this quest, maybe I'll go and let her out. And take her out, rather. Not let her out. Yeah, I kind of want that gold thorn. Managing her energy level is tough. If she doesn't exercise enough, she gets very cranky. If she exercises too much, she gets even crankier. We haven't figured out the right mix yet. You could be in the middle of like a 20-minute walk and suddenly she just turns into Velociraptor. Like jumping, biting. Alright, there we go. I think I can always use more life fruits. But she'll do the same thing if she hasn't had enough exercise. So she's actually a little bit more vicious if she's overtired, which is interesting. She just doesn't know how to stop. Or she doesn't realize that she's tired, so she actually starts going crazier and makes herself even more tired. So it's like a downward spiral. Is this an alliance camp? Yes. No. It says they're deserters, so. I think rogues use Fade Leaf or something. Vanishing powder? No. Vanishing powder you just buy, right? You don't make it. Hopefully this doesn't have a web. Yeah, what recipes? So I need more. Strangle kelp is. I don't know. Simultaneously, it's annoying and convenient. You know where to find it. It's like right on the coastal waters. But swimming in the water is not the most fun thing in this game. So it's easy to find, it's just a pain to get to. And what was the other ingredient? King's blood. King's blood, yeah, king's blood's everywhere. It's not too bad. Alright. We will take... I kind of like strength these stats more, but... I don't really like either of these items. The Brood of Onyxia. So this belt is actually a slight downgrade, 66 armor versus 67 armor. Which means the item level is slightly lower. Yeah, I don't know. We'll get a shield just in case we ever go back to using one-hander. Which, I mean, I might end up finding a one-hander that does more damage than my two-hander. That's how weapons kind of go in this game sometimes. They are few and far between. Unless you're really farming. And even then, like, you know, if I go run Scarlet Monastery for the Whirlwind Axe, am I going to take that away from a warrior? Probably not. That quest is elite, yeah. Something must be done. Destroy fire. That quest is not elite. Okay. And I can get some mail boots. 13 stamina, 2 spirit. Not my favorite stats. At least not the spirit. But That's how it goes sometimes. Alright, fortunately that's gonna have to be it. I need to go take care of the pupper. And I see she's up again, so yep, that's gonna have to be it. Thanks for watching and see you next time.